Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to this month's Scrapfive challenge. If you'd like to make a layout with the recipe, use hashtag Scrapfive on Instagram. Today's list is one of your pins from Pinterest for your inspiration, masculine or boy layout, ribbon or washi, 3 or more different pattern papers, and a cardstock base. And this is my inspiration from Pinterest. It's a mood board, and I like the stones there and the woods and yeah, the leaves, of course. Y'all know I like leaves. And it is also Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, Series 11. So this is a sketch for today, and it is by Natalie Turkett Cloudsdale. And I won't have 3 pictures. I will only have 1, but I'll replace those pictures with something else. They will be in similar positions. This is my picture of my grandson Jason. I'm going to use picture wheel. I am going to use those alphas there. I'm going to use the slide frames from that, and then I'm going to use this alpha from Tim Holtz. And I'm going to use 49 and Market, but I'm going to mix together the Naturalist and Curator's Metal. And well, it looks like I got a lot there because I pulled out things that I am not going to be using. And then I pulled out things I might only got 1 or 2 things out of. But I am going to use those rub-ons. I'm going to use a few of these, and these are from the Naturalist. This is from the Naturalist too, and it's called Book Plates. And then I've got my 3 papers to use right there, and my ribbon. I'm showing them off, and of course the cardstock beneath there. So I've got everything. I just have to get it on the layout. Oh, and it's going to be a boy layout. This, I can even count in this paper because it is tissue paper, and it is printed too. It's Tim Holtz, and I ripped it in half so I could put some on the bottom right and then the upper left. And it will look like numbers are upside down because they are. They're upside down and sideways and all that. They're just not, it's not printed straight on like you would expect. It's got it in all directions so you can use it anywhere and it'll look like it's on purpose. Well, it is. So, and wrinkles is a great thing to have when you're using tissue like this because it just adds character. The first one I put down, I thought, man, I ain't get no wrinkles. What happened here? And it went on pretty smooth. I don't really think I got any. But the second piece, I made sure I got some. And yeah, it gives it character. I'm going to use that chalk paint, and that is Clover Meadow. And it's a really pretty green. I really like it. It's about the same color as the bookworm from Lindy's Stamp Gang. I don't think they call it that. They just call it Lindy's now. But a long time ago they did. I am putting it on there, and I'm just putting different places of color. And I did add water to it, and I am splattering on here. I will do some more splatters later, but I'm going to use the bookworm. I'm showing these, it is a wood grain paper, and I cut them in strips according to the planks and inked them. And then I put them on some cardstock so they'd be in place so I could put this twine in between and through each of them. And I'm going to have it at the top, and I wanted to make sure it shows. So my book plate will be down just enough so that it'll show. And I'm tying that one end, and I thought I'd kind of do a few knots in a row to make it thicker there and add some more texture to the layout. And I wanted to make sure they stayed in place, so I put glue on each one of the strings in the back and then washi tape on top. And this is that cute little book plate. There's a few in there. And I am inking it with the tea dye ink to go with my logs and everything else that I'm going to end up inking. And I'm also going to put some foam tape on there just so it won't be laying completely flat on there on top of the wood planks, and to give it a little more dimension. And I'm going to curl each one of the corners just a little bit up. Now, y'all know I like green. So I used my green, but I was thinking since I had the wood planks, I'd use some brown too. So I am using one of my most favorite stencils, and it's the Tile Mania. And I am just putting it here and there on there to add the brown is all I'm doing it. But I am going to end up using a rub-on that is brown. I'm going to cut it all apart, but I am going to use a rub-on that's all brown. And I am using liquid uh, glue to put it on with because I wanted to make sure it stayed. Now the sketch has two pictures in the bottom right. So I'm considering that kind of sort of like two pictures, but then I'm going to go ahead and decorate with this photo on top. And also up there where my picture wheel is, there is a picture, and I'm going to put my title there. The title's higher in the sketch, but I'm going to put it on that wheel because I was running out of room. I had to put it somewhere. And that wreath, it looks like maybe a grapevine wreath that is still green. I went ahead and cut the photo to fit it, and then I'm going to put greenery around it. And oh, those mushrooms are just so cute. There is just all kinds of cute little stuff in the Curator Metal collection. Well, the other collection's really cute too. I really like it. But since it is a wreath, I thought I'd have some greenery go up around part of it. And then there's this spray of leaves that's got two different colors. And they kind of remind me of feathers. Well, one broke off. And I thought, I was going to glue it back on. I thought, well, if I just take the center one and put it on there, I could use the other part to fill in a place here or there. And then since I did it on the one on the left, I clipped the one off on the right and went ahead and put one leaf in the center there too. So both would look complete, and I'd have those little extra sprigs to put somewhere else. Now, the Naturalist has more greens, which is what made me fall in love with it. But the other one's got more browns, and I knew I wanted to do this picture and a couple others that had more browns in it. So I went ahead and got a little bit of it, not much. Well, I don't think there was much left by the time I went in and got it. And so that's one reason I am mixing the two together. My mushrooms are just kind of a little wide for the space that's right there, so I'm cutting some sprigs off, and I will use them, just not right there. And my picture is of Jason, and this was on Malachi's birthday, and we were at the park. And you might have seen pictures of this creek before, but it's dry half the time, if not more. And so he's down in the creek, and he picked rocks up and he stacked them up and was so proud of his stack. And I thought of doing the title, Ta-da! But he didn't say ta-da that day. He just wanted me to look. So he is really cute with his stack of rocks. And so that's why I wanted that mood board. I pinned it so I could remember. I was going to cut rocks out of my metallic papers, the Craft Consortium ones, and cut them myself. Well, then I seen those bricks on that mood board, and I thought, that'll remind me to use my my bricks on the Craft Consortium brick paper instead, because I knew there was one that I'd already used that had similar shapes that I could stack. So I will be stacking them on the bottom left of the page on the right. And of course there's wood on there, so I had to use wood grain. But yeah, I am going to back my picture wheel with the bricks. Well, the bricks. Only I'm going to be calling them stones in here. Um, well, they kind of look like stones. I made my title out of the two alphas, and it's You Rock at Nature's Jenga. And I did use the bigger letters, although those are pretty small letters, for the word rock. Now, the frame I'm using is basically scraps from making the other frame. It was the outside part of it, but I wanted something a little bigger, and that was there, and it was pretty square, so I decided to go ahead and use it. And I will be cutting part of it off so it'll kind of tuck underneath the picture wheel. And then I'm going to add that Be Curious little tag looking thing, and there's also some over there to the left somewhere. uh, the Naturalist bubbles. They call them bubbles at 49 Cent Market. And I'm going to be using some of them in that cluster there. I'm going to lose a yellow one. It's going to just, well, I picked the paper up, I think, and I had took it off and moved it over and did not stick it down because I didn't want it to stick and forgot about it. And it went flying. I couldn't find it, so that yellow one is not making it on the layout. I'll probably find I'm wearing it before it's all said and done. These are the bricks that look like rocks. And I'm going to stack them in that left-hand corner while you're not looking because the camera went off and I didn't notice it. And there was like a little spray of water on the glass, so it made the paint a little thinner. But I did notice it about then. I glanced up for some reason, I don't even know why. And well, I do it every now and then. But anyway, I seen it was off and I thought, man, I did not even hear it. But I stacked them there and I didn't stack them super straight because his isn't super straight. It looks pretty tall and straight at the first glance, but if you look, there are some that are hanging over farther than others, and so I thought I'd recreate that. And then I said go ahead and put some up there in that cluster up at the top. But if you glance over there at the sketch and at the mood board, you can see where both influenced my layout. And while I'm adding little bits and pieces here and there, I want to mention that down there below, you'll find the link to everybody that's doing the Scrapfive challenge this month. And you can hop on over to their channel and see what they created with the list of 5 items. And so far, I have my Pinterest inspiration. I have my cardstock on the back. I have 3 pattern papers. I may not have used them the way somebody else might, but I did use 3 pattern papers. It's a masculine layout. Oh, and I used ribbon. And I was using it as a bookmark on my book plate. And I even dovetailed or fishtailed the end of it. But it pretty much got covered up with the greenery there. But it is on there. I do have a piece of ribbon on the layout. And if you also look down there below, you'll find the master link for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And loads of inspiration in there, because it's been going on all month so far. And there is a bunch down there for you to watch. And both of these, the Scrapfive and Christy's Beautiful Life, have hashtags for Instagram. So you can create your own and post it on Instagram. I am all the way to my splatters. I did mention, I think, if well, if I could quit stuttering, if the if the program didn't crash at the wrong moment, I mentioned it. But just in case it wasn't this round, it is Lindy's bookworm that I use for the splatters at the end. Although I splattered them earlier too. But that's it. That's my layout, and I had loads of fun creating with it and scrapping that photo of Jason. He was just so cute when he got that done and was so proud of himself. Some of them were a little heavy for him. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. And thank you all for watching my video today. I appreciate each and every one of you that's watching it. I know you could be watching so very many more. But have a happy scrappy week. Try both of these out, the sketch and the recipe. And use the hashtag for Instagram. And Christy's Beautiful Life does have a Facebook page with loads and loads and loads more inspiration. Bye.